December 7th, 1941, September 11th, 2001, and January 6th.
The mob beat officers with anything they had on them: hockey stick, a flagpole, a fire extinguisher. Police officers died.
Donald Trump supporters who, of course, rioted and killed police officers.
By the evening of January 6th, the Democratic Party and its publicists in the national news media had settled on a description of what had happened that day. They distilled an enormous number of highly complex events that even now we don't fully understand, into a single emotionally laden political slogan, which they've repeated for years with remarkable discipline. January 6th, they said, was a deadly insurrection.
There was a deadly insurrection that the right wing is trying to cover up.
He incited a deadly insurrection.
Incited a deadly insurrection.
The violent, deadly insurrection on the Capitol 9 months ago, it was about white supremacy, in my view.
The January 6th Capitol Hill riot is on the news after Dr. Carlson shared some very interesting photos and videos from the incident. And this information has got many people thinking, like, was it all done on purpose? Why were this information not shared? And do the people who are being punished for breaching the Capitol actually deserves this level of punishment? So the whole thing is so confusing. And some other people are even thinking that this whole incident, even though not have been coordinated, some people are still using it for political gains. But before we continue, let's watch this video.
Within hours of January 6th, literally hours, you began to hear that day described as a deadly insurrection, and not described by one news outlet or one politician, but in unison by all of them, almost like it was coordinated. A deadly insurrection. That's how history may record January 6th. But the tape that we reviewed from within the building on that day proves it was neither an insurrection nor deadly. Here it is.
January 6th, when an estimated 2,000 rioters breached the Capitol building, causing the deaths of 5 police officers.
Certain dates echo throughout history.
A deadly insurrection. Everything about that phrase is a lie. Very little about January 6th was organized or violent. Surveillance video from inside the Capitol shows mostly peaceful chaos. But the slogan worked. The term deadly carries enormous emotional power, which is why they used it.
After listening to what Dr. Carlson has said, anyone would begin to wonder why these images were not also shared together with the other ones. The videos and photos that show the rioters actually destroying the Capitol was shared, and everyone saw what they did. Why were these ones not shared too? Why were some images and information shared, and why were some hidden? If there is one thing that I have realized about America or the West, is that most too often they are politically motivated to do whatever they are doing. It's not like they actually care for the people or they care for American democracy. It's that they all want to prove to each other how powerful they are. Just imagine how the Democrat turned all this into like a political campaign and won a lot of support from it. They came out with a phrase and everyone just followed along. It's like the media in America is just waiting for someone to come up with a phrase for them to re-echo it again and again and again. Because I remember when there was an issue with the Arabs or Muslims, right? And a phrase was brought up to describe them. Or was it the migrant crisis at the southern border where a phrase was also brought up to describe the whole situation? Or is it to discredit or defame an African leader? Then a phrase like tyranny, dictatorship, and all sort of negative words will be used against that leader. So things like this, I am not shocked because I have seen them do it more too often. So when they have their agenda that they are trying to push, they will use their media and they will push this agenda. And do not get me wrong, I'm not saying that Tucker Carlson is like a hero or a fair and just reporter for sharing this information. That's not what I'm saying, because I believe that Fox News also has their own intentions for sharing this information on air. Likewise, CNN, ABC, and the other liberal media, all of them have their own interests why they do what they do. So none of them is like, we are fighting for the people, we are doing this for the people. They all have their interests for doing what they do. It's so bizarre, because you would think that a country like America will be looking out for the common people. We'll be making sure that people get the truthful and right information. But you will be surprised that when one side is reviewing the evidence, they will come out with a totally different information from when the other side is reviewing the information. The polarization of America is totally out of control. And everyone is just trying to win for themselves. And this also was one thing that people were so concerned about. Like, if the House Majority Speaker wanted this information to be shared with the public, why did he just give it to Tucker Carlson? Why not share it with other media houses? Or why not just post it online so that everyone can view it and then come up with their own conclusion? Why give it to Fox News? But we will never know, right? I'm sure if it were a Democrat, he would have given it to CNN or ABC or the other liberal media. But you guys out there, when you saw these images and this new information that was put on air by Tucker Carlson, what was your take about it? Do you think that the Democrat has an agenda for sharing the information they shared? And do you also think that Republicans, now giving this material to Tucker Carlson, they also have an agenda for doing that? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we like hearing what you have to say. And also, please do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel, because little bit of goodwill, like the one you're doing just now, help us a lot. I shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.